Social media can be a breeding ground for negativity, and it's tempting to fire off a quick reply in a comment that pushes your butt. I've been there, I've done that. However, the 24-hour rule can be helpful in these situations as well. Welcome back to another episode of Declutter For Change podcast. I'm your host, Heather Clark, your declutter expert. Today, we're talking about a skill that can have a massive impact in all areas of your life, the power of the 24-hour rule. Have you ever fired off a text you instantly regretted? Or maybe sent an email in the heat of the moment, only to cringe when you reread it later? We've all been there. But what if there was a simple trick to avoid these communication mishaps? Think of it like hitting the pause button before you hit send. It's a way to give yourself a time out before reacting and saying something you might wish you could take back. In today's world of instant messaging and constant notification, the 24-hour rule feels almost surreal. We're conditioned to respond immediately, express ourselves in the moment, and expect the same from others. But the 24-hour rule offers a powerful counterpoint. It's a commitment to slow down, declutter our communication, and prioritize thoughtful responses over knee-jerk reaction. It's like saying no to the pressure of instant reply. It's a way to ditch the knee-jerk reaction and build stronger relationships with the people who matter most. Here's the deal. When we're overstimulated, our emotions take the wheel. Past experiences, hurt feelings, and even unresolved anger can cloud our judgment. I refer to this as our emotional clutter. In these moments, our responses are often reactive rather than responsive. We say things we don't mean, escalate situations unnecessarily, and damage relationships in the process. So, the 24-hour rule is a way to hit the pause button. It gives you time to cool down, process your emotions, and craft a response that's clear, calm, and collected. Now, let's dive deeper into why the 24-hour rule is so powerful. First, it gives your emotions time to settle. When you're feeling angry, hurt, or frustrated, your fight or flight responses kick in. Your body releases a flood of hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which can impair your ability to think clearly. Taking 24 hours allows these hormones to subside and your rational mind to come back online. Second, the 24-hour rule allows you to gain perspective. In the heat of the moment, things often seem bigger and more dramatic than they actually are. With a day's distance, you can reevaluate the situation and see it more objectively. Third, it allows you to consider different approaches. When you're reacting, you often fall back on the same old pattern. The 24-hour rule gives you the space to explore different ways to address the situation. Maybe there's a way to communicate your needs assertively without being aggressive. Maybe there's an opportunity to have a calm and productive conversation. Fourth, it gives you time to gather your thoughts. When you're caught off guard, it's easy to forget what you want to say. Taking 24 hours allows you to gather your thoughts, organize your argument, and craft a more effective response. The 24-hour rule can be incredibly helpful in a variety of situations. In our personal lives, it can be a lifesaver during disagreements with loved ones, whether it's a heated fight with your spouse, a tense discussion with your parents, or a conflict with a close friend. The 24-hour rule can help you avoid saying things in the heat of the moment that you might regret later. Taking a break allows you to cool down and respond more thoughtfully, preventing unnecessary hurt feelings and damage to your relationships. 24-hour rule can be a valuable tool in the professional world. Dealing with a difficult colleague or demanding boss can be stressful, and it's easy to let your emotions get the best of you when responding to an email or request. Taking a day to process this situation allows you to craft a more professional and measured response, preventing you from sending an email that could jeopardize your standing with the company. However, I understand that a full 24 hours might not always be practical in a fast-paced work environment. If you find yourself in a situation where an immediate response is expected, but you still feel your emotions running high, there are still ways to utilize the spirit of the 24-hour rule. Step away for a moment. Excuse yourself from the conversation and take a short walk, a few deep breaths in the restroom, or even a quick lap around the office. This brief break can help you calm your nerves and give you a moment to collect your thoughts before responding. Acknowledge your need for time. If responding immediately is unavoidable, You can still acknowledge your need for some time to process the information. A simple phrase like, "Thanks for this. I want to make sure I give you a well considered response. Can I get back to you in a couple of hours?" This can buy you some valuable time to cool down and craft a more professional response. Remember, key takeaway is to avoid hitting send when your emotions are still in charge. Even a short delay can make a big difference in the tone and professionalism of your response. Social media can be a breeding ground for negativity, and it's tempting to fire off a quick reply in a comment that pushes your butt. I've been there, I've done that. However, the 24-hour rule can be helpful in these situations as well. By giving yourself a day to cool down, you can avoid contributing to online negativity and craft a more constructive response that might actually spark a meaningful conversation. It can be a powerful tool during breakups or difficult conversations with exes. Emotions run high after a separation, and sending messages filled with anger or desperation can damage any peaceful coexistence. The 24-hour rule allows you to process your feelings and communicate with clearer head, leading to more productive and less emotionally charged interactions. Have you ever fired off a text or email in the heat of the moment, only to regret it later? We've all been there. If the 24-hour rule resonates with you and you've had an experience where waiting before responding saved you from saying something you didn't mean, I'd love to hear your story. Share your experience with me at heather@declutterforchange.com. The first step to putting the 24-hour rule into practice is becoming aware of your own overstimulant. What situations or people tend to make you feel overwhelmed or emotionally reactive? When you feel emotions starting to rise, recognize it as a sign to pause and step back. Before doing anything else, take a few deep breaths. This simple act can help activate your body's relaxation response, calming your nervous system and giving you a moment to collect your thoughts. Don't forget to check in with your body. Are you feeling lightheaded or shaky? Is your stomach grumbling? Are you hangry? Sometimes basic needs like hunger or dehydration can mimic emotional overstimulation. If you haven't eaten recently or haven't been drinking enough water, grab a healthy snack and a glass of water before proceeding. Taking care of your physical needs can significantly improve your emotional state, help you respond more calmly. Once you've calmed your nervous system and addressed any potential physical needs and still feel overstimulated, communicate your need for time if you're in the middle of a conversation. Let the other person know that you need some time to process what they've said before responding. A simple phrase like, "I hear what you're saying, and it's a lot to process. Can I get back to you on this tomorrow? I want to make sure I give you a thoughtful response." Once you've removed yourself from the immediate situation, find a distraction. Go for a walk, listen to some music or calming frequencies, or engage in an activity that will take your mind off the issue at hand. This will give your emotions time to settle and allow you to approach the situation with a clear head. Ask yourself some questions. What are my true feelings about the situation? What outcomes do I want? What is the best way to communicate my needs? Now that you've had time to process your emotions and consider your options, you can craft a clear, calm, and collected response. Here are some additional tips for making the 24-hour rule work for you. Schedule a reminder on your phone 24 hours after to revisit the situation you encountered. This simple step can prevent you from forgetting and reacting impulsively later on. Remember, responding isn't always necessary. Sometimes the best course of action is to simply take a step back. If the situation isn't urgent, take your time. Respond only if you feel it's absolutely necessary to contribute to the conversation. We all make mistakes. If you find yourself reacting impulsively despite your best efforts, don't beat yourself up about it. Simply apologize to the other person. Explain that you're working on improving your communication skills and express your desire to move forward in a more constructive manner. The 24-hour rule offers a multitude of benefits. By taking the time to think before you speak, you can significantly improve your communication skills. This allows you to clearly express your needs and feelings, leading to more productive and meaningful conversation. Another advantage of the 24-hour rule is its positive impact on your relationship. When you avoid blurting out things you might regret later, you create a space for fostering trust and understanding with loved ones. This ultimately leads to stronger, more resilient bonds with the people who matter most in your life. Reacting impulsively can be a major source of stress, both in the moment and in its potential consequence. The 24-hour rule allows you to approach situations with a calmer and more collective mindset. This helps you manage your stress levels and navigate difficult conversations with greater ease. 24-hour rule encourages self-awareness by prompting you to reflect on your emotions and the situation that evoked strong reactions from you. This allows you to gain a better understanding of yourself and how your emotions can influence your communication style. With this knowledge, you can develop strategies for responding in a more effective and mindful way. The 24-hour rule is a simple yet powerful tool that can transform your communication skills. By taking steps back before reacting, you can declutter your communication and create more peace and harmony in your life and way less drama. The next time you feel yourself getting flustered or overwhelmed, remember the 24-hour rule. Give yourself the space and time you need to craft a thoughtful and effective response.
If you're feeling overwhelmed by clutter or simply want to connect with others on a similar journey, head over to our community, Declutter for Change group. We'd love to have you. You can find the link for the Facebook group and any other resources from the episode at
declutterforchange.com/24-hour rule.
Remember, as you simplify, each item that you let go of brings you one step closer to a lighter, freer, more aligned life. As you clear out the clutter, be kind to yourself and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Keep sorting, keep simplifying, and keep thriving. And hey, if you want more decluttering tips and inspiration or just want to connect, be sure to follow me on social media. You can find me at Declutter for Change. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy decluttering.